Welcome to the Louie File. Today I'd like to talk to you just a moment about false humility. We've all either done it or we've all heard it. Oh, it wasn't me, it was the Lord. I'm not worthy. I'm no good. Oh, God works in spite of me. I don't know. I heard a guy teaching one time about pride, and he held up a pencil and he said, pride is like this pencil. And he pointed at the pointy end and he said, one side is all puffed up and saying, look at me, look how great I am, look how smart, look how good looking I am. He said, and we all recognize that as pride. He said, but then he pointed to the other end, the eraser end, and he said, the other end of this equation is, I'm not worthy, I'm a jerk, I'm a worm, I'm undeserving, I'm just the worst piece of whatever that's ever come along. And he said people tend to not realize that that is also pride. And I remember that was a tough one to get a hold of at first, but either one, I'm so great, or I'm no good at all, it's both about me, isn't it? It's focused on me. It's incredible. So how do we respond when we do something and someone tells us that we did a good job? As a believer in Jesus Christ, how do we respond? Do we say, oh no, it wasn't me, it was the Lord? Well, I don't know about that. I tend to, if someone says to me, Louie, I really enjoyed that lesson, or you did a good job, you know what, I just say, well, thank you. I enjoyed it too. I mean, sometimes not taking a compliment doesn't automatically mean that we're humble. You see what I'm saying? There was a lady one time gave her testimony at church where I attend, and when she got finished, I went up to her and I said, you did a great job. And she said, it wasn't me, it was the Lord. You know what I said? I said, well, it sure looked like you. Instead of saying God works through me in spite of me, why not come to see it as that God works through us or me precisely because of me? Because He has chosen to join His spirit to my human spirit, and that we have become one. And His goal is that He can express Himself through Louie, through me, as me, but it's Him. That's what Paul meant when he said, Christ in you, the hope of glory. It's not just Christ, it's Christ in you. Right? In Galatians 2:20, Paul summed up, I think, his whole underlined his whole teaching in one verse, and it says, Galatians 2:20 says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live. Yet not I, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the body or in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave Himself for me. Amazing, amazing verse. So he says, I am crucified. Wait a minute, but I'm living. Wait a minute, it's not really me living, it's Christ living. And you know what? The life that I now live, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave Himself for me. My wife Tracy likes to say, it's not about you, but it involves you. It includes you. So why not just embrace that? Why not just be Christ in you, the hope of glory? Why not just do that? Why not let Christ shine? Jesus even said, do your good deeds before men. He says, let your light so shine that they see your good deeds and glorify your Father who is in heaven. So, it's not you, ultimately, it's Christ. I read one time, there was a guy named, I think it was Norman Grubb, he said, it's the holy wink. People come up to you and say, man, you sang that song great, you taught that lesson great. You just say, thank you. I really enjoyed that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. But the whole time it's really Christ in you. But I'm just telling you this because I don't think it doesn't endear me for someone to constantly say, it wasn't me, it was the Lord. As a believer, if I'm a believer and I'm coming to you as a believer and I'm telling you thank you, or you did a great job, I know it's Christ. You know it's Christ. So I don't personally have the need to constantly remind everyone it's Christ. Now, you may or may not agree with this, and that's fine. Everyone's got their opinions. But anytime someone does compliment me on something, I just say thank you, and I just go on. Just receive the compliment and go on. You don't let it puff you up, because you know the real source of the good, if there is any, is Christ. So just go out there and let Christ shine through you. It's Christ in you, the hope of glory. I'll talk to you next time.